I, 23 female, got revenge on my brother, 23 male, and now he's trying to make me feel bad about it. My twin brother is quite cruel. He's always doing stupid things to me, but the worst event occurred 5 years ago. My first boyfriend came along when I was 18 and a senior in high school. I know we were young, but I truly, really liked him. We'd been dating for 10 months when my brother decided, for no apparent reason, to fabricate a tale about how he caught me cheating and tell it to my boyfriend. He organized everything, came up with specifics, and made it all seem believable. My partner believed him since he's such a terrifyingly skilled liar and master manipulator. He believed my brother above me, no matter what I said or did to show otherwise. My brother maintained his act throughout and refused to confess he was lying. I believed I'd finally persuaded my lover to trust me, but he broke up with me a few months later and said it was because he was still sure I'd cheated on him and couldn't get over it. The hardest thing is that you won't simply give me the truth, he added, and it still bothers me. I want to weep every time I think about it. Even to this day, I miss him. I never got over what my brother did, and I always vowed myself that one day I would do the same thing to him. He dated a few females since high school, but he'd never been serious enough about any of them for me to think of duping them. I figured if I simply duped one of his flings or anything, it wouldn't hurt him like he wounded me. But he eventually obtained his first serious girlfriend last year, and after much deliberation, I decided to go forward with it. Because we now reside in separate cities, I had to do everything online. I took a different approach than he did, contacting his girlfriend under the guise of the female he'd been cheating with. I made up an extensive comprehensive tale, just as he did to me, and even photoshopped evidence and other such nonsense. I made my narrative much more credible than he did. And, just as he did to me, I went so far as to deny it to him because I was afraid he'd use my texts/calls to show to his girlfriend that it wasn't real. He knows I'm behind it, though, since he didn't cheat and no one else would do it. But I continue to deny it. It's been a week, his girlfriend believes me completely, and my brother continues phoning and messaging me, pleading with me to give it up, despite the fact that I still haven't confessed it's me. He's manipulating me and claiming that it's different, since he did it to me when I was younger and my relationship wasn't serious. But as I previously said, my relationship was serious and I still miss my ex. My brother really, truly screwed me up. I, on the other hand, have empathy, he does not, and I'm beginning to feel horrible. Half of me believes I'm simply being influenced by him as usual and that I should keep to my plan, while the other half is beginning to regret this and believes I should tell his girlfriend the truth. Should I be upset, and do I have to tell her the truth? It's also worth noting that my brother has never apologized for what he did. He's so cruel that he thinks it's hilarious. I'd even asked him once if he'd consider calling my ex and telling him the truth for my own peace of mind, and he simply laughed. Update. So me and his girlfriend exchanged a few more DM. She's still convinced that I'm some random lady my brother cheated with, obviously, and she asked me a question that led to her confessing that she's been skeptical of him for a long time. I prodded a little and urged her to check through his phone, but she said she couldn't since she didn't know the password, and he wouldn't let her. But then I guessed a couple passcodes that I thought it may be and provided them to her under the premise of seeing it once but not knowing which one I'd seen, which was kind of stupid. But I couldn't think of anything else to say and she didn't question. Kate. She got it because it was the same one he did since 2012, when our father gave us iPhones and forced us to use the same passcode. Idiot. Anyway, for the most part, he's been chatting to and with several ladies during the duration of their relationship. I'm not surprised, since he's a nasty guy and infidelity seems to be perfectly up his alley, but I'm not astonished. I can't believe everything worked out so flawlessly. It seems like a dream or something. I am adored by the cosmos. I don't want to take pleasure in his girlfriend's agony, but I was feeling awful about her being collateral damage. I know I didn't mention it in the initial post, but I believe it was implied. So this seems like the best possible ending. My story turned out to be the truth, not precisely, but you get the idea, so I didn't scar his girlfriend or leave her with chronic injury for no cause. All my involvement accomplished was hasten the process of revealing the truth. In fact, if it hadn't been for me, my brother may have been able to conceal his adultery forever. He would have most likely manipulated his girlfriend and or refused to allow her phone access indefinitely. Also, I love how all of the top comments on my post called my brother a sociopath, since he is, and I didn't want to say anything about it. I've spent years being told that when I accuse him of being a psychopath, I'm just being theatrical, so I feel extremely seen today, even if it's only from a lot of strangers. I'm still not going to tell my brother that I set him up since it's pointless. That would just lead me into more trouble. My favorite reply was deny till you die, baby, because that's precisely what I want to do, haha. Life is insane. Edit. I failed to clarify that his girlfriend hasn't dumped him yet, and I'm not sure if she will. I'm not sure how important that is, but it demonstrates how manipulative he is. He swindles people all the time, yet he always gets his way. It's both annoying and terrifying. Story 2. My 27 female BF, 28 male, dumped me and isn't even affected by it. From the beginning, I could see that I was more serious than he was about his goals. After meeting me for the first time 6 months ago, he ended things with me since the girl he truly wanted invited him out on a date. After a week, she dumped him, and he came back to live with me. The beginning of the relationship was pleasant, but he would constantly criticize me for wanting to see him more than once a week, and he would accuse me of being overbearing and smothering if I contacted him more than a few times a day. Eventually, I gave up and moved on. He was a heavy drinker who was also emotionally and verbally abusive towards me. Adi, the way you dress is embarrassing. None of my friends like you, etc. I'd had enough and was ready to walk away when he pulled me back in, stating he changed, he was sorry, and other such blatant lies. I walked away and he dragged me back in. A while back, things were going well. He even invited me to his family's Thanksgiving dinner, where I met his mother for the first time, which was a pleasant surprise since his parents are divorced, and I'd only seen his father before this. Everything, in my perspective, went swimmingly well. Then, just after Thanksgiving, he completely ignored me for 2 weeks. He wouldn't come to see me, he didn't want me to go see him, and he wasn't even talking to me. I was completely alone. Despite the fact that I knew it was coming, he ultimately messaged me and said that he had no interest or drive in seeing me, and that I should go see other people. He then clarified that he was not necessarily breaking up with me, and that he was not seeing anyone else. It was my intention to tell him that if he wanted me to see other people, despite the fact that he had previously said that he was completely monogamous, our relationship would be finished. He expressed his regret and expressed his love for me, as well as the fact that every moment was true and he never lied to me. He is completely ignorant that I am familiar with people who are acquainted with him, live in the same area as him, and follow him on social media. They showed me images and videos of him with another woman, which I found disturbing. I'm in a condition of complete despair. Despite the fact that I seem to meet the needs of the vast majority of people in terms of a companionship, I'm surprised that I'm not more excited about this than I am. I'm well aware that he needs to get his life in order and get professional help. I'm very aware that he treated me as though I were disposable. However, this split has left me in a worse situation than the breakup with my ex-fiancée did. I'm just looking for some direction on what to do next. Even if logic tells me that this would never work, I feel like I put a lot of effort into it in such a short amount of time, and my gut tells me to keep trying even though it seems impossible. The good moments that we did have were sufficient to persuade me that we were capable of working on anything together in the future. You know, be the best of the best.